Well, good evening, my lovelies, and I hope you are wonderfully well. And I'm delighted to see that we are starting tonight's live stream in my favourite way with a new channel member. So, Diane Sturdy, welcome to Poppadom and Pickles channel membership. Thank you so much for the support. I really appreciate it. Thank you very much indeed. And thank you for being a part of this vibrant but slightly mad community. Well, good evening, my lovelies, my beautiful little bowls of Momo chutney. And a very warm, wibbly wobbly welcome to Friday Night Live. And over the space of the next, probably 60 minutes or so, we are going to wave away Friday and we are going to welcome in the weekend, aren't we, darlings? We most certainly are. And normal rules apply. I would love to hear how your days have been. Of course, we all need to know what we've all been eating, don't we? Yeah, how are you all? How are you feeling? What are your plans for the weekend? What would you like to talk about tonight? We can take this. I can steer this ship any way that you like, darlings. What? I should cocoa. I should rub it up. I personally have had a rather splendid day, and you will see why in tomorrow's videos, darling. A little bit of mystery for you. What? A little bit of mystery. Anyway, I'm going to dive straight into the comments because that's the kind of thing that I like to do. I'm like that. I'm the kind of chap who likes to dive straight in, darlings. And first cab off the rank tonight was Justin George, who says, Yakida boyo. Very good evening to you, sir. The lovely Diane Sturdy, channel member now. Thank you, Diane. Peter P is with us. A very good evening, Boaty and all. The fabulous Peter P. The wonderful Jimmy Quinn. Good evening, Boaty and all. Lord Stiff Upper Lip is here with some lyrics. Oh, God. Right, I'm not even going to attempt those. Not a clue. Not a clue. The M11, the lovely Emma, is here and says, good evening, honourable community. And a very good evening to you, Emma. And to the utterly desirable host of the live stream, Mr. Boaty. And congratulations on your weight loss. I didn't doubt you for a moment. I have never met a human being with such iron will. You are a deserving leader of the weight loss challenge. That's very kind. Thank you very much. And thank you to everybody else who has said kind words about my not inconsiderable 8-day effort paying off rather well. So yeah, I'm quietly quite satisfied with that. Matron is with us. Evening all, says Matron. I've had an utterly bizarre day making bizarre plans and I'm ready for some relative normality within the four walls of this live stream. And then Matron goes on to welcome Diane Sturdy to membership, which is rather splendid. And I'm delighted to be your go-to point for normality, Matron. Peter is giving Matron 2 cucumbers. I'm not reading that one out. Yeah, keeping it normal, says Pete. No weird stuff here. Alan Simpson is with us. Greetings, honourable community and its wet-hulled leader. A jolly good evening to you. A jolly good evening to you, Alan, and I hope you are most awfully well. It's going to be one of those streams, isn't it, says Matron? Probably. It is 23:30 as I type this comment, says the M11. I wonder at what time Boaty will eventually read it out. A little experiment. Well, 5 minutes later, Emma, it is now 23:35. So, yeah, 5 minutes later. Yeah. Stick that in your pipe and smoke it. Get the pretzels ready, says Pete B. Good evening, all, says Bad Books. Boaty's got his box out so he can slide something into the slot for our viewing pleasure. The honesty box, says Peter P. Hello, your lordship, says Chaz Brown. Hello, Chaz. What is that reflecting on Boaty's chinny chin chin? Oh, it could be the new candle, darlings. I finally bought the new candle. I showed you last night or whenever it was. I showed you. Oh yeah, it is reflecting on my chinny chin chin, isn't it? What an odd effect. I showed you last night that the glass that the candle came in, that the lovely Emma bought for me, I cleaned it thoroughly. And I bought a pillar candle from Sainsbury's tonight. And I was expecting to pay about 85p. That's what I paid for the last one in Safeways. £1.50. £1.50. I went to customer service and I said, you should be wearing a fucking mask and a striped jumper. And the young lady on the desk had no idea what I was talking about and called security. So there we are. More on that story as it comes in. Lovely candle, Boaty, says Jimmy Quinn. It bloody should be for £1.50. It's a flare from the candle, explains Matron. The camera lens needs a wipage, I think. We can give the camera lens some wipage. I can do that. Let me get a clean microfiber. Would you like any particular colour? Oh, let's go pink. Let's go pink. Right, I will give you some wipage with a nice pink microfiber. Now then, did your mothers ever used to lick a handkerchief to clean your face? Normally out and about in public. Or was my mother the only weirdo who did that? I bet she wasn't. Right, hopefully that is better. Let's have a look if there's I don't think that's made any difference at all, has it? Has it? I'll just watch myself sitting down. No, I can see it on the back of the wall there. And my head is going to go right there. Yeah, that hasn't helped. Yeah, it's the candle, darlings. The candle will, go down. Not in a yodeling in the canyon type of way. The candle will diminish, deplete, depilate, and then the flare will disappear. You're just going to have to bear with it tonight, darlings, and possibly tomorrow, and possibly the day after that as well. Boaty, the wizard of bullshit. How dare you, sir? How dare you, Peter P? Did the new microphones not work for live streaming? Asked the M11. I explained this the other night. The new microphones are not coming out to play yet because I am live streaming on a very elderly iPhone X, which has got a very poor battery. The battery is disconnected. Now, with the old cheap microphones, I can use the microphones and charge the phone at the same time. With the posh new microphones, I don't think I can do that. Actually, I haven't properly checked. Let's have a proper look. But I don't think I can. So I'm holding back the posh microphones for live streaming until sometime next month when I do a phone upgrade and all the phones will shuffle down. And then I'm just going to upgrade the whole live stream. Rather than being on Sonia, the small but perfectly formed tripod, you're going to be on the gimbal and you'll be on a posh phone and you'll have the posh microphones. That's the plan, darlings. Right, I don't think there's a thing here But no, there isn't. No, there isn't. So yeah, and the battery on that phone is genuinely is so bad that it wouldn't last. It might be all right tonight because I'm only going to do an hour tonight, but it wouldn't last an hour and a half or 2.5 hours or something like that. Oh, right. I think I deserve a sip of my wine, darling. So that's what I'm going to do next. Just you watch me. Yep. Oh, oh, okay. What does that say? Thank you, Jimmy. Jimmy has just sent me £2 via PayPal and said it's for the candle, you tight sod. Oh, thank you. Well, welcome again if you've just joined us to Friday Night Live, a candlelit live sponsored by Jimmy Quinn. Cheers, Jimmy, and cheers to you all. Your very good health. Bottoms up yours, etc. Marvelous. I've had a lovely day, thanks, says Alan. Day off work with the missus, besides the sea in lovely Findhorn. Hmm. My favourite place on earth. I've never heard of it. Lots of beach walking, car singing, and sniffing beach huts. Well, that sounds fantastic. How was your day, Boaty? Yeah, my day was great. You'll see in the video tomorrow that I got up. That's always a good start. I had my bean on toast for breakfast. And when I say bean on toast, I don't mean a whole slice of toast. Basically, what I do now is, because obviously weight loss, so each round of bread, I cut it into, is it, hang on, one, two, I cut it into 9 smaller squares. So my breakfast now is 1/9 of a slice of toast with a bean on it. Because, you know, if you want to lose the old ballast, you got to make sacrifices. You've got to make efforts. You've got to make sacrifices. And above all, you've got to have a will of iron, darlings, and a willy of iron. And yeah, I'm right on top of that. I'm on top of that, and I'm poking it with a cheese grater. That's what I'm doing. Where was I? Oh yeah, so I got up, had my bean on a 9th of toast breakfast. Professional. That was a wine burp. I quelled it. Oh, and a big shout out to the lovely Sean, who is luxuriating in an executive suite in a hotel at Gatwick Airport. All right, for some minute, he knows how to live, does our Sean. Where was I? Oh, yeah, about my day. So, yeah, I had my breakfast. Again, that's about 3 breakfasts I've had now, isn't it? I edited my video. I exported it without any issue, and I set it off to upload. And then I went scarpering out, darlings. I did. I went scarpering out, and I went to the Salvation Army charity shoppy, ye old charity shoppy, and it's a proper charity shop. God, there was some amazing crap in there. Oh, tremendous! My favourite piece. This is true. My favourite piece. Do you remember in the 1970s, you used to have those wallets made out of fake leather? And if you went to like Weston-super-Mare, they'd have Weston-super-Mare printed on them. There was a brand new, still in the wrapping, wallet and key case. Remember the old key cases with a Pressy Study Fastening and little hooks in there. So a wallet and key case with Sydney Opera House printed on them. Brand new, never, well, new old stock from the 1970s, I would guess, but never opened. £2. £2, darlings. And I just thought that is why I love charity shops. So somebody got given that almighty piece of shit from somebody who was rich enough to go to Australia, but not rich enough to buy a decent bloody present. And they've obviously put it in their drawer of shit I wish I didn't have to own. And then they've snuffed it, and somebody's given it to the Salvation Army. I very nearly bought it. But I only went there for a look-see, darlings. Now, I'm going to have to go back because it's a big old place and I could have spent hours browsing around there. I genuinely could. And I didn't have time, but I only went down to browse because, utterly skint. I can't believe it. It's terrifying. Absolutely terrifying. I appeased the vengeful gods of the overdraft yesterday, and it's all bloody gone. And I was over my overdraft limit again today, and I've had to stay over it because I haven't got any bloody money to put in there. So I just went down for a browse, but I'll be going back down there, darlings. They've got everything that you can imagine down there, and so I did a bit of filming. I made lunch, and my lunch today was I made a kind of wrap. I took a slice of cucumber and a slice of carrot, just the one little slice, and I chopped them julienne, and then I wrapped them up in a lettuce leaf. To make a nice wrap, and that was delicious, and didn't leave me feeling bloated at all. So that was great. And then I went out for my afternoon run, and then showered, went to work, had a good night at work. I'm feeling fantastic, darlings. Absolutely fantastic. I'm genuinely thinking that I may do some marathons next year. I haven't been talking much about it because just in case I failed, but I've been building up my runs, and obviously I'm nowhere near a marathon yet. But at the moment I'm running about around 10 miles a day. So I'll gradually increase that over the winter and do some fell running as well so that I get a more rigorous workout. And then if I keep that up, then by next spring, I should be fine to run marathons on tarmac. If you're used to running in the fells and dales, and then you start running on tarmac, it feels so much easier. So yeah, that's good. That's quite exciting. Marvelous. Right. Where did I get to? Oh, Boaty, says Matron. Just wave the wooden spatula of discipline around. Emma will soon stop teasing you. There we are. Hey, says Simone, the lovely Simone. What's with the gypsy box, asked Eagle. That is no gypsy box. That is a South Walian from Puscall, thank you, telephone savings box. And what I've been doing, Steakold, is since I was very kindly sent that box, I've been putting £1 per night in it. And I've now come up with an idea of what I should do with the telephone box money. Now, Tracy P, the lovely Tracy P, you all know her. She's an amazing person, absolutely wonderful. Oh, heart of gold. She posted in the Facebook group, Boaty's World on Facebook. It's slightly above average. She posted to say that the Grand Hotel in Llandudno, where I've never stayed, she posted a link to an article that says it's all going to be refurbed beginning of March next year. And I thought, I've never stayed there. I've always wanted to stay there. And now I want to stay there before it's refurbished. I want to stay there while it's still shit because, search for it on YouTube, have a look on TripAdvisor. Apparently, it's dreadful. It's still incredibly expensive, but it's absolutely awful. And I want to go there while it's still awful. So I thought and actually suggested in the Facebook group last night that for my birthday next year, in an ideal world, I would be going to Malta. But unless there's some miracle between now and January, the chances of me getting to Malta are effectively zero. I mean, I've got two hopes. I've got, yeah, two hopes. I've got Slim and none, and Slim's out of town. But the telephone box money could give me a night in the Grand Hotel in Llandudno on my birthday, or on the nearest Monday to my birthday, because I can't afford to have a day off for my birthday if it doesn't land on a Monday. What day does my birthday land on next year? Let's have a look. Let's have a little look-see, darling, shall we? Oh, God. This is what you call bloody entertainment, mate. My birthday falls on... my birthday's on a Tuesday, darlings. My birthday's on a Tuesday. So that would kind of work, couldn't it? Stay at the Grand Hotel in Llandudno on the Monday night, do a live stream, and it'll hit midnight, and boom, it'll be my birthday. And I can have a birthday breakfast in the Grand Hotel and get food poisoning. The reviews are dreadful. And there are so many YouTube videos. Everybody who does travel reviews, everybody's been to the Grand Hotel in Llandudno just so they can slate it. I won't do that. I'll be completely the opposite because I don't like to travel the way that other people travel. When everybody goes one way, I like to go the other. But there we are. So what do you think of that for an idea? And of course, if any of you that would like to join me, feel free. Come and have a night in Llandudno. We'll paint the town beige. I'm being plagued by wine burps, but I really am being professional. I'm quelling them one after the other. Says Peter P. The pink cloth of wipage, indeed. Fun Stuff 24 is back with us. How lovely. Hello again. Cooking some fajitas here in Texas. Popping in and out. Hope everyone has a good day. And thank you for popping in and out, Fun Stuff 24. And we hope your fajitas are fantastic. And we hope you have an amazing day too. Thank you so much. That sounds tasty, Fun Stuff, says the M11. Simone was working on TC today and had fun. That's good. It's a little better since Wipage, says Matron. You've moved a little sideways too. It helped. And the fajitas are chicken sausage with peppers and onions. How did you manage to get hold of Florence Nips tobacco box? I've got no idea what that means. I do like chicken, says Simone. Florence Nightingale, he meant to say, rather than Florence Nips. Not a tobacco box, dear boy. Kind of hot for cooking. Woo, says Fun Stuff. 95 degrees in Texas today. Blimey. Stratospherian says, at the rate of weight loss, in about 110 days, Boaty will be a pretty line in the air, and in a few more days, we'll only have ashes and some innards left. Not even a proper bunghole. Not even anywhere to park a bike, says Alan Simpson. Boaty, how is the spider? Asks Alan. The spider is absolutely fine. I've seen him quite a few times. I think he's quite a young spider because he appears to have grown. And he appears to have a friend or a mate, a slightly smaller spider. And I see them scurrying about every now and then. There are cobwebs here and there, and I leave them because spiders need to eat, and that's how they catch their prey. And he's grand. I mean, we share a house, but we kind of keep ourselves to ourselves, you know. He's got his life, I've got my life, and yeah, we just live with a mutual understanding, friendship, and respect, and it's a really good relationship. It's a lot better than my relationship was with Chinese Madam, although there is a lot less pottering involved. There was a lot of pottering during the Chinese Madam days, most of it non consensual. Now then, Boaty's got 1,000 candles in his bedroom, says Stickle. Keeps him warm. Emma says Boaty's got a bloody noisy fish tank in his bedroom. I have. And Emma knows because it kept her awake, says Matron. Yeah, well, drink more. Drink more. Actually, it's I need to get a new pump. It shouldn't be that noisy. The fan on the pump has come loose and it bumps against the edge, the propeller thing, you know. So I need to get a new water pump and filter, and then it will be quiet. I love it when it's quiet. I like the sound of water. I love sleeping by the sea. So I just love the sound of water. And a fish tank with a good pump is kind of the next best thing. I've learnt to sleep through the rattling. Being exhausted and slightly drunk works well. I mean, you are looking at the man who slept through 2 police raids. And you know I'm not joking because I've told you the stories. Bad Book says, congratulations on your 25 stone weight loss. Thank you, Bad Books. Amazing crap is the best, says Peter P. Oh, you can't beat an amazing crap. A can of beans is going to feed Boaty for 25 weeks, says Chaz Brown. Emma says, I had an amazing crap this morning. How does Boaty feel about South African lentils, asks Peter P. Well, the same as I feel about any other lentils, really. They are for other people, not for me. The tiger does not eat grass. And the Boaty does not eat lentils. I have eaten lentils. I've occasionally had dal at work. I can't get as excited about it as Ram does. Oh, I love dal. I love dal. You give me choice of anything, I take dal. Well, that's all right, mate. Give me the chicken. Oh, I've got beef on Sunday. How much am I looking forward to that beef? Oh, my God. Beef, Yorkshire pudding, horseradish. Ah, Sundays are a tremendous thing. And I'm excited about tomorrow too, darlings. Momo and chutney tomorrow. Oh, and I need to set the chutney out of the freezer. Oh, Momo and chutney. Haven't had it for ages. There we go, darlings. Look at that. Beautiful, beautiful chomo mutney. Frozen when it was beautifully fresh. We'll put that in the fridge to defrost overnight. Honestly, it's been, I can't remember when I last had Momo. Actually, I think the last time I had Momo was with Emma. And that was, oh God, that was last year, wasn't it? So it's been a long time coming. That would be my advice to you, darlings. If you want a happy, satisfying life, don't leave it too long in between a good momoing. That's my advice to you. Sorry, Boaty, says Bad Books. 16 minutes into the live and you will have lost another stone. Emma says the weight must be falling off his little tinkle because the rest of him looks exactly the same. I bet the moobs are still swinging. I recognize jealousy when I see it. I know that I'm looking like a racing snake, darlings, and you all know it too, even though you might not want to admit it. I mean, one thing is true when it comes to weight loss. The scales do not lie. Anybody can talk a good game. Anybody can make reasons or excuses or whatever. The scales do not lie. And I proved that in today's video. And quite rightly, I've received a lot of praise for my efforts. And I accept that praise humbly, yet deservedly. You're very good health, darlings. It helps to be competitive, to be honest. It's much easier to make efforts and make sacrifices when you're competitive and you want to win. But I won't pretend it's been easy, because it hasn't. It hasn't been easy. But it's been worthwhile. It has been worthwhile. I actually had to put a new hole in my belt. Oh, yeah. And when you have to have a new hole, you know that something really exciting has gone up. Oh, it's the lovely Emma. How nice. Good evening, my lovely.
You're a bloody cheat.
I am. How dare you? How dare you?
The scales don't lie, but the footage might not be exactly correct.
What are you talking about? This is piffle waffle and flim flam.
Do you not remember that 8 days or so ago you filmed yourself stepping on the scales, and that is still online for people to see what it said at that time?
Of course I remember. That's the footage I used in today's video.
Well, I think anyone with half a brain, and I've got more than half a brain, will have worked it out.
Nonsense. I absolutely refute this.
I think you should be ashamed of yourself, duping all these lovely people watching your video who are so impressed with the weight loss, and they're like, "Wow, that's amazing! Well done! Great achievement!"
Right? Are you willing to be honest live in front of all these people?
Well, God, this is what you're going to ask me.
Okay. Here is the question, and it's a simple yes/no question. Over the last 8 days, yes or no, did I lose weight?
Yes.
Thank you. Well, there you are. Proof positive, darlings, that don't listen to any nonsense, flim flam.
Well done. But seriously, well done though. You did lose something. So you might have lost a few marbles at the same time as well, though. But yeah, well done, because you did lose something. So that is an achievement.
I know. I lost just over a stone.
No, you didn't. You lost about 1.5 pounds, and that's impressive. I can't remember exactly what you lost, but you know that was very good.
Do you know what I did?
Assuming you didn't cheat that as well.
Do you know how I did it?
I'm guessing you just held some cans of beans or something.
I put about 14 bottles of water in my rucksack. Put my rucksack on.
I was thinking it might be something actually just as simple as, you know, holding onto the worktop, and you know, if you sort of pulled, you could put pressure on to pull yourself downwards, you know.
Well, I was trying to film as well with the other hand, wasn't I? So no, I came up with the rucksack idea, and I had to totally re-edit the video because
Did you see your reflection in it with this rucksack on?
No, it wasn't that. I hadn't. There was one little scene where I cut to it, and you could see the rucksack with all the bottles of water on the floor. I had to edit the whole bloody thing again and re-export it.
Oh my God, con artist, you.
Look, right? People say, I've heard this so many times. People say that if you cheat, you only cheat yourself. And I like to think that I'm the living proof that that is not true. Because I have cheated you, Sean, and somebody else that I don't know. But the point is, right, nobody will watch this.
Somebody else you don't know has congratulated you on your video, I've noticed.
Oh, has he? Well, and rightly so. And, you know, I mean, okay, 12 people might watch this live stream, but that video's had about 400 views, and it's still going strong. They're not going to know, and I'm not going to tell them.
The thing I don't get is that people are genuinely believing that you've lost over a stone in 8 days. That's really difficult.
Yeah, but like I said, I've got an iron will. You haven't been here. You haven't seen what I've been doing every day
Right.
to make that happen. Yeah.
Oh, you didn't. You thought I won't put that in the daily diaries. People won't be able to cope with that.
Yeah, I wanted to keep it as a surprise. Do you know, if I'd have had a bit more time, I was going to do a full Rocky montage. A picture of me running up the road, a picture of me doing pull-ups. I was going to set up the one bean on a ninth of a slice of toast and film myself eating breakfast. I'm gutted I didn't have the time to do that.
Why don't you do that? Why don't you do things like that, and put them in for the next week and say, I've been working really hard and these are what I've been doing. But the thing is, people might start copying you. Oh, that's funny.
Look, if anybody's stupid enough to copy me, they deserve all they get. Right, do me a favour, just take over the live stream for 30 seconds while I...
Oh, God, I haven't got comments in front of me. I'm on a phone.
Oh, well, just ad lib. I've only got half a cigarette to go.
Oh, you just use me. I'm sure you just use me. Like, Emma's on the phone. I can go off and do other things like have a wee and a cigarette now.
Well, yeah.
Well, I don't know. You ask me a question so I can talk while you're doing that. Ask me something that I can talk about. Give me a topic. Throw a topic at me.
Okay. Did you lose, maintain, or gain this week?
Well, you might not have seen the video I put out today about it.
Oh, I saw it. You said you lost a pound.
Yeah, well, I'm not sure because my scales at home, they're those ones that, they don't, the old-fashioned ones where the little dial thing moves about,
okay.
What are they called? There's an official word for it.
Scales.
Well, whatever they're called. Excuse me. So, yeah, I've stepped on them and it looks like potentially lost a pound, but I don't know. It's not, you can't really tell with those old-fashioned scales. But as I said in my video, things keep on happening that throw me off it because it's driving me towards sugar.
Was that today when you weighed yourself?
Yes, this morning. Yeah.
What time?
I always weigh myself after the poo, but before breakfast.
Right, well, I'm disqualifying you then because you've already put out there on record that you had an astonishing bowel movement this morning. So you probably cracked about a stone.
Yeah, but every morning I have an astonishing bowel movement. When I did my last weigh, I'd had an astonishing bowel movement. So, but yeah, I mean, like I said, I quite like the fact that in my videos I'm being honest, unlike some people. Because other people will have the same problems I have, and hopefully can relate, and it might encourage people to chat about the things that are causing them difficulties, or some people are giving me some advice, which is quite nice. So I quite like that sort of thing. So
yeah,
I don't mind.
But come up with silly ideas. You've got to just sometimes the obvious answer is the way to go, and people come up with all of these like mad ideas instead of just doing the obvious bloody thing. And that really frustrates and annoys me. Now, okay, you've got an addiction, right? I accept that. And your addiction makes you fat, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I accept that as well. So simply replace one addiction with another addiction that doesn't make you fat.
Well, did you not see I put that in the comments? I said I tried to do that and I couldn't. I tried to get addicted to caffeine instead, thinking, well, I could reach for coffee or whatever.
Oh, that's not going to be strong enough. I mean, at a bare minimum, you need to take up smoking. But I would recommend cocaine.
I did this joke with friends a few years ago. I was saying, I should become a heroin addict, and then I won't be wanting the sugar.
Yeah, you don't see many of them with wobble bottoms.
Yeah, I've thought of that, but there aren't any others. I quite like bedroom activity. I wouldn't mind if every time I fancied something sugary, I'd had some bedroom activity. That'd work perfectly for me. But I don't think my kids would appreciate it.
Why don't you go seriously? Why don't you go on the game?
Well, because I want to have sugar throughout the day. So I couldn't be like on the school run and thinking, hang on, I fancy something sugary. I'll just quickly, stick my thumb out and, get a car to stop and jump in a car and do something while I'm waiting to collect my little boy. It wouldn't be appropriate, would it?
Well, you could, and they could give you a lift to school afterwards, and that way you'd save time as well.
Well, also, I suppose that doing that would mean I would also get a bit of extra money as well, wouldn't I?
Exactly, it's a win-win-win. I literally can't see a downside to this suggestion. And if you videoed it, it would be YouTube content and potential blackmail material if they were married.
Oh, wow. Gosh, you're good at this, aren't you? You've done this before, haven't you?
I should be on Dragon's Den. Honestly, I should be on Dragon's Den.
Yeah, well, yeah. So I can't find anything to replace the addiction with, but I just have to keep trying. But I put it in my video. Genuinely, horrible things happen, and then it makes me be like, oh, I can't do it today. But every time I tried to film that video, the phone kept on ringing today. It was driving me mental. I had considered doing like a lunchtime sort of live stream instead of the video, just to sit and chat about it, and get comments and stuff. But with the way the phone kept on ringing, I wouldn't have been able to do that. But yeah, it is a frustration that I can't.
In all seriousness, I kind of do understand a bit, because, like most kids, I was addicted to sugar too. And it had the same effect on me. And I've talked about this before. I don't know exactly how, but I convinced myself that I hated sugar. Same way as I convinced myself that I hated dairy. And I did it so well that it pretty much stuck. I can't stand anything sugary, with the exception of brown sugar in my coffee. But I can't stand white sugar. That's too sugary. But I don't do chocolate. I don't do desserts. And it was the same thing with dairy. I just managed to convince myself that I hated it, and then I didn't crave it.
Well, I wish I could do that. It's obvious that's what you have done, because you say you don't like sugar now, but anything sugary, but I would love to be able to do that. Actually, when I managed to get off it, because in times in my life I have managed to get off it, and then when I've tasted sugar, it has tasted too sweet, and I've thought, oh my goodness, how did I used to, be addicted to this because it's too sweet? But unfortunately, like I said in my video, if anyone's watched it, plug. It's like that typical addiction thing, you think, oh, it won't hurt just this once, and then I'm straight back on it.
It's a bloody UK thing, isn't it? And the problem is that, the problem is that your palate very quickly becomes addicted to it, and it stops tasting anything else almost. Although the upside is that, as you discovered, your palate will go the other way very quickly as well. But that's why tikka masala and korma exist. These nonsense foods. I keep saying it. Tikka masala and korma, it's not curry, it's a dessert. If you saw, we wince at work, honestly. Same with naan breads. We wince when we look at how much sugar we have to pour into a tikka masala sauce, and the amount of sugar that we have to put into a naan bread. It's terrifying, but that's what the UK palate craves. They've all been trained to recognize and crave sugar. And it's a shame, really, because you miss out on so much else. Sugar is a bit like salt. It's overpowering, and that's all you get from whatever it is that you're eating, really. And you miss out on so much else. So I do sympathize.
Yeah, what was I going to say? I forgot what I was going to say. I forgot what I was going to say. I was going to say something along those lines to do with the sugary thing, and my brain went blank. I can't remember what it was now. I got too interested in what you were saying that I completely lost what I was going to say. But yeah. Anyway, you're on a late one tonight, so I better get off the phone so you can get on with whatever you're doing. But
whatever I was doing.
Well, you were reading the comments and doing a live stream, and I interrupted. And Stephen Parry's probably trying to get through, and I'm on the line.
You probably need to find what you really need to find. Then I guess is a distraction. So when you're stressed or whatever, and you go for your sugar, you need to find something else to go for instead.
Well, the thing is also...
And train yourself. Have you considered hypnosis?
I've never had that, no. I mean, it could be an option, I suppose, yeah.
Might be worth a try.
But I find that if I can go 2 weeks without eating sugar, if I get that willpower and go 2 weeks, I don't crave it anymore. But it's the first few days are so hard. I get headaches, I get grumpy. It's the typical sort of withdrawal sort of thing. But then if I can go 2 weeks, then that's it. I'm fine, and I'm so proud of myself. But then it doesn't take much to get me back on it.
Now, addictions don't last as long as people think they do. Now, people will talk about smoking. The physical addiction to nicotine, how long do you think that lasts?
I coughed and I didn't hear. Did you ask me a question? The physical addiction to nicotine, what did you say?
How long do you think it lasts?
I mean, I've never had that, but I from what I understand, it lasts, a long time.
24 hours.
Oh, right, okay.
The physical addiction to nicotine lasts for 24 hours. So if you go without nicotine for 24 hours and you then crave nicotine, it's purely psychosomatic,
habit,
purely psychological, habitual, whatever. Your body is not craving nicotine. And the same is true of sugar. I can't give you an exact time frame on sugar, but as you've said, 2 weeks. Then after 2 weeks, you don't crave it. So it's obviously it's a mental thing. Because if you can break that, if you can go without a fag for 24 hours, which I can. And if you can go without sugar for however long it takes, a week or whatever, you can. The fact that you then go back to them is a mental thing. So then it becomes so I guess it has to be addressed as a mental thing rather than as a physical thing, doesn't it?
I'm going to agree with you on something for once. Yeah, I think I agree with that. You're there, yeah. I think I would say that probably 2 or 3 days, then the cravings stop. And then it takes me about 2 weeks to feel sort of like, right, I'm definitely not thinking about it now. But that's the thing, is that then it's a thing that sort of, something in my head is still thinking, I do fancy that. I do fancy it. Whereas I'm not craving it. It's just a mental thing that's making me think, oh, I'll have that. Yeah.
I mean, the only thing I can think of, and it's not a fully formed thing, but I know that you need, or I've always found that you need relatively instant rewards, something to get the endorphins flowing in your brain, and that will help you battle it. So, for example, I used to bite my fingernails like a lot of children, and I didn't want to bite my fingernails anymore. So I bit 9 of my fingers, and there was one that I didn't bite. And I clipped it and filed it, and then I looked at it compared to all of my other fingers, and I thought, I'm never biting my fingernails again, because that finger looks really nice. The rest of them look disgusting, and I was ashamed, and that meant that I did. So that meant that I didn't do it. Trying to think of other things. Competition. If you're in competition with 3 of your mates of who can go the longest without doing something, and you're going the longest, then that will give you a little bit of a rush, and that will help with just not doing it. Challenges, stuff like that. If somebody challenges me to do without something, I'll do it, because I hate failure. I'm like,
well, this is what I kind of hoped with my doing it on YouTube. I thought, well, that will push me on because I've put it out there on YouTube, so I have to do it now. But it's, you know, like I said, something happened yesterday, and you know, other things happen, and it just stops me. It's like, oh, okay, I'll have sugar today, and tomorrow I'll do it again, and then other things happen. It's my crutch, you know. I need something else to you know, revive me when I'm feeling stressed.
I've got no idea if this is a good idea or not, but put your weight out there. Tell people what you weigh. And then when you eat sugar and you give in and it comes to the next week, you've got to tell them what you weigh again.
Well, the reason I didn't, and I was going to put this in the video today, but the phone kept ringing and whatever, and I didn't get round to it. But I've always been told when I tell people my weight, they're shocked because they say, you don't look it. You really don't look it. So I've been told that I probably weigh more than I look. And I feel that if I put it out there, Tracy knows exactly because she's had experience of this sort of thing. I don't want people coming at me being rude because that will not encourage me. That would probably upset me. And I don't want to be thinking, oh, I'm coming off YouTube now because, you know, people are being horrible about it.
That's why
because I can't cope with it.
That's why I said I don't know if it would be a good idea. Now, if that happened to me, that would be the thing that spurred me on.
It's just
whenever I've been
I'm just very sensitive about it, you know.
Well, yeah, I get that, but you know, to me, that's what I would want to use. And if you put yourself in a comfort zone, if you protect yourself from criticism, when you in reality should be criticizing yourself, then to me, that's just shooting yourself in the foot.
I think if I was lighter than I am, and I wanted to lose 2 stone, it wouldn't be so bad. But I feel if I put it there now,
if you were lighter than you were, it wouldn't be so important that you lost 2 stone.
Or maybe if I was on my way with it, you know, it might be that maybe when I've lost half a stone, I think right now I'm ready to say what I was because I'd feel like, right, I'm on my way now. You know, I've started, so I don't mind. But right now, I don't know. What does everybody in the chat think if they haven't fallen asleep? I just think, I mean, imagine this isn't the case, but imagine if I put my weight out there and it was exactly the same as yours. Imagine that. Now, people would think, oh my goodness, Emma weighs exactly the same as a 6'5", you know, stocky. Are you stocky? I don't know. You're not stocky, are you? But you got a wide chest. It's wider than mine. But you know, a man, and they'd be saying
a 6'5" ex-athlete, yeah.
But you know, and they'd be thinking, well, hang on a minute, it's a man who's like over a foot taller than me, and you know, how can you weigh the same as him? Imagine that was the case. Now that would be horrifying for me.
Well, I can imagine that would be the case.
I'm not a huge amount lighter than you.
And then I think that people would probably stop saying, "Oh, you're fine as you are. You don't need to lose weight."
Well, I told you that when I was with you, didn't I? That I do get a little bit frustrated when people say I don't need to. They're being very kind, but it's not. You know, that could make you think, that could make somebody think, well, I don't need to. Then people say I'm fine, but I know I do need to.
You know,
so I see what you're saying. If I put it out there, people wouldn't be saying, "Oh, you don't need to."
But this is the thing, you see. I mean, you'll say that you say, "Oh, I'm not going to tell people what I weigh because of this, that, and the other," and you know that people think that you look lighter than you really are, or you do look lighter than you really are. And I bet you'll be careful about how you appeared on film, so that if there's a very unflattering shot of you where you can see your bum or your stomach, you won't put that in the film. Kind of stuff. I
suppose I wouldn't, yeah.
Kind of stuff that we all did. Now, where I really admire Sean, when he was talking about weight loss, he got his kit off. He got his kit off and he put it on a video. And I thought, now that is bloody bravery. And that is the way to. No, I'm not suggesting that you do that.
I might get some views.
But I don't know. I think that we tend to hide things from ourselves. When I was drinking too much, um, then I would come up with every reason under the sun why I wasn't drinking too much and why it wasn't a problem. Um, and my then wife videoed me, and I saw that it was a problem. So I stopped
Mhm.
drinking too much because we lie to ourselves or we don't admit the truth to ourselves. And if we actually put something out there, then we have to deal with it, and we have to decide
Mhm.
that, right, am I okay with this or am I really not okay with it? And you're forced to deal with it rather than just pretending it's not a problem or sticking it to, kicking the can down the road or whatever. I don't,
Yeah.
I don't know, but I just think that I don't know. I think a lot of people say that they want things, but they want things by a magic wand being waved, and they don't want to go through what they actually need to do to achieve it. And that
Well, I
so
have done that. I have gone through, it before. It's just unfortunately I've undone it, sometimes. It just takes me time to get on it. And once I'm on it, I feel good and I can keep going. But it's the first couple of days off the sugar. I don't expect a magic wand. I know I need to put the work in, but I really struggle with the first couple of days. But after that, I can do it, and that's what I find so frustrating. I feel like I want someone to lock me up for a few days and say, right, that's it, you're not having any, and then they let me out, and I'm like, oh, I'm over that craving now. But things, I do, and ladies' time of the month, that is a time when I just feel utterly crap, and it's like what it's just something that makes me feel better at that time. But again, I did say it in my video. I feel like I'm always making excuses. I know that I'm making excuses, but I do think some of them are kind of valid in a way
so
because
what are
some,
the sugary things that you eat when you have your
pardon,
stress? What?
sugary things,
Yeah. So when you have your stress moment, um,
mainly chocolate, I suppose, but sometimes things like biscuits or something, but mainly chocolate. And I know that, that's just fat, isn't it?
okay. So if you don't want to do any of the other things, then have a daily vlog where you honestly show everything that you buy.
Oh, what even when I'm on the sugar sort of thing?
Yeah.
And then basically it's like I'm shaming myself into, oh my goodness, look at all this sugar I've had, and I've just told everybody.
Well, that kind of thing. It's not, because if you think if there's a consequence, at the moment there's no consequence to you going out and buying sugar. Now, if I was tempted to have something sugary, it wouldn't be much of a temptation for me because I don't keep anything in the house for exactly that reason. If it's not here, I can't eat it. And
Oh yeah.
if I decided I wanted a Twix, I'd have to do an hour's drive round trip to go and get a Twix, and that kind of makes it easier because there are consequences. There are no consequences for you at the moment, so you need to put in. Well, you don't need to, but maybe you should put in a consequence. And if the consequence is even something so simple as um, I've either got to admit to myself via a video that I went and bought chocolate when I know I shouldn't have, or I've got to live with the guilt of knowing that I'm not admitting to what I've done. And then I'm not being honest with myself, and I'm being my own worst enemy. And I am the cause of my own problem, sort of thing.
I suppose also, with putting a YouTube brain on, it probably would make interesting content as well, because you've probably got a lot of people out there telling you all the positives of their diet, but maybe not so many out there being honest like that and saying, God, look, I've bought. Actually, I'd feel really ashamed. I would feel ashamed of myself if I was like on a video going, "Look, I've just bought this bar of chocolate and I'm going to eat it." I think if I was filming myself, somewhere in my brain, I'd be thinking, "Do I really want to be doing this?" So maybe it would work.
It's
But it could be
consequences.
interesting as well for people to watch.
It's consequences, isn't it? Because the consequence of you eating chocolate is the fact that you gain weight, but that's not immediate. So you're not going to think about it when you eat the chocolate. The need for the chocolate is going to be more important than the consequence. If the consequence was a little bit more immediate, then it might help to dissuade you.
Yeah. Okay.
And at the end of the
something for
day,
me to think
at
about.
the end of the day, it depends what you want.
I want to be what I was like a few years ago, like 3 stone lighter rather.
In all seriousness, I know many people for whom the pleasure of what makes them fat is more important than the desire not to be fat. And that's another area where you've got to be honest with yourself. Because if that pleasure is more important than the consequence, then it doesn't matter what you do. You'll never ever achieve it. You're just talking about a theoretical wish list that can never actually come true. And that's something you've got to be honest with yourself about. And if you decide that I do want this outcome, that is the most important thing, then there have to be sticks and carrots. You have to make it easier for yourself to go down that route. There have to be rewards, immediate rewards for going down that route, and there have to be immediate consequences. Otherwise, it just won't happen.
Yeah, well, you're talking some sense tonight.
Like, for example, right? If you said go for 12 hours without smoking, and I'd say, okay, why? And they'd say, well, smoking will give you lung cancer. You will die early. Yeah, I know all about that, but that's in the far away. I'm not going to be worrying about that today. Oh, right. Okay. Okay. Well, go without smoking for 12 hours. Why? Because I'm going to put you on an aeroplane and you can go to America and have an amazing time. Okay, I'll go without smoking for 12 hours. No problem at all.
Yeah.
See what I mean?
You make some good points. Yeah, I do. Well, thank you for this therapy session on Fitness Friday.
Oh, yeah, of course. Fitness
Friday. And you've given me a perfect Fitness Friday therapy session, so thank you for that.
There you go. And myself as well. And myself, because, I've got things that I want to do. I'm not sitting here as Mr. Perfect just because I lost just over a stone in 8 days. There are still improvements that I want to make.
You only lost the stone because you took the rucksack off. Anyway, I'm going to let you go back to the live stream because it is, it started late anyway, and people are probably sick of this conversation.
It didn't start late. I started on time.
No, I didn't mean that. I meant it's Friday.
Right. Yeah.
So you already start later than other nights. That was what I meant. You did start perfectly on time, and you got through the comments beautifully. So well done for that.
Thank you so much. And it's now, I should have gone 4 minutes ago, and I've got comments.
That's what I'm saying. I've got to go.
Okay, bugger off.
All right. Catch you later.
See you later.
Bye.
Ah, the lovely M11 there. Right, where did I get to on the old comments? Oh dear. A good charity shop rummage is fun, says Alan Simpson. And the marathons are now Snickers, by the way. Oh, I see what you did there. I haven't put my pound in the box. You must watch me put my pound in the box because I'm even more on it now because this could be my birthday night at the Grand Hotel in Llandudno. Oh, and right, just for full disclosure, last night I needed pound coins again for my float for work. So last night I took another £5 coins out and I put another £5 note in. So if you think it's not rattling as much as it should, that is why. It's now got two £5 notes in there. So there you are. That's what you get on this channel, darlings. Full disclosure. Apart from the cheating, obviously. Well, no, I've been honest about the cheating now, haven't I? I'm just not going to do it on a video because I'm getting good views on that video and I'm enjoying the praise. That's the thing about me. I am slightly sociopathic in that I enjoy getting praise and it makes me feel good and I feel validated by getting praise. So I think, yes, I deserve this praise. I am great. I have done really well. And I completely ignore the fact that I've cheated. And I just think, yes, I deserve this praise. Give me more. Oh, dear. Right, let's rattle through the comments and then we'll all bugger off. Oh, dear. Use the money box pounds to enter the 2025 London Marathon. All proceeds to the Salvation Army. Yeah, I like your idea to stay at the Grand while it's shabby and then returning when they've done it up to see what's changed, says Emma. Can I come up the weekend between our birthdays and do a celebratory birthday live stream? Nobody ever wants to do anything for my birthday because of the stupid date. Yeah, totally, Emma, totally. And Matron loves that idea. Come on, we'll make a proper birthday weekend of it. I will spoil you and we'll do some amazing January things. Can't think what, but we can certainly do a live stream. Oh yeah, weekend. I was going to say let's get a plan, didn't I? But it's a weekend, isn't it? I'll be working. Unless YouTube has taken off and I can afford to have a Saturday night off. Like that would ever happen. But yeah, totally. Come up in January. Land Rover lunch with hot dogs, says Peter P. Do you know, I have thought about that. I've thought about doing Land Rover lunches in winter. I kind of love the idea of rocking up some. It's easy to do it when the sun is shining and it's a beautiful summer's day, like when Emma and I did it. Imagine going to that same spot on a freezing winter's day when there's a few feet of snow, rocking up in the Land Rover and doing exactly that, getting the stove out in that same spot up high. I'm so sorry. And yeah, making a hot meal all wrapped up in your big coat out there in the snow. That would be good footage, wouldn't it? That would be good content. I had thought of that. I hate the cold. I do hate the cold, and that would probably make the content even better. Not a problem with nice thermals, says Peter P. Kept me cozy in January doing my national service. Scales can be faulty, says Bad Books, hence they can lie. But then mine are digital and they don't. Mustard is here, Project Nigel. Mustard here. A man the same weight as I was last week. Yep, you were fat last week and you... What do you weigh, Mustard? I bet you weigh more than me. I bet you weigh more than me. Now, my weight is out there on a YouTube video, right? Tell us, let's have a weight off. I'm taller than you. I'm about 9 inches taller than you. And I bet you I weigh less. Hi, Mustard. If you were to shave your voluminous locks off, I wonder how much weight you'd lose. Not that I think you should. I'm just curious. Anyway, good evening, Mustard. Emma knows Boaty way too well and laughs her bottom off. So Boaty lost weight by emptying his sack, says Alan Simpson. Matron says, Boaty, you should still do the Rocky montage. Would be hilarious. No one watches the live streams, innit? Rocky montage seconded, says Alan Simpson. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. I'll do it next week. I'll find the time to do it. Jimmy Quinn says, I lose loads of pounds with Boaty, and it's true, he does. Glad tonight is so normal, says Peter P. Emma's phone kept ringing, says Alan. Was it Mr. Stephen Parry from Port Sunlight and the Wirral? The Leisure Peninsula. He's my first thought whenever I hear the phone ring, says Alan. Oh, dear. I've just woken up, so I don't know what's going on, says Jimmy F500. Matron says, I'm the same, Alan. On the train back from Boaty's last month, the phone like Boaty's rang on the train. Me and Emma were both, it's Mr. Stephen Parry from Port Sunlight in the Wirral, etc. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. 2 weeks in the guest cupboard for Emma, says Peter P. I used to be addicted to video games, says Simone. Matron says nicotine lives in the body for 3 to 4 days. After that, it's just a mental habit. You tell him, Tracy, says Jimmy. When I quit smoking, says Simone, I was ill for a few weeks. It was like a cold. I felt terrible. Mr. Parry is with us. Good evening, sir. I think our Emma needs to take up dogging for good exercise. It'll be just what the doctor ordered. Yes, Simone, says Matron, you get a quit smoking flu after giving up for a few weeks. It's the body clearing out and recovering. Awful at the time, but it does leave eventually, as we know. Is Holly still popping up in chat, says Alan? Not seen it for ages. No, since the arguments and a couple of people were perhaps less than pleasant towards her, unfortunately, she disappeared and has never been seen again. She was a bit combative in her style, wasn't she? And she was wrongly so at one point, and people protected the community and retaliated, and that was it. She's not been seen since, I'm afraid. Which is a shame, but she was really combative. And it was aimed, on that occasion, it was aimed at the wrong place and in the wrong way. People get sensitive about their weight, says Jimmy F500, so I steer clear of that subject. Simone is horizontal. Oh dear. And everybody's saying good night. Well, I'm a fat bastard and I don't care anymore, says Jimmy Quinn. And Jimmy F500 says, that's the spirit, Jimmy. I really don't mind being fat, says Matron, but I also like being able to walk, so you have to strike a balance. Well, that's it. That's it. I'm never going to be thin again, darlings, because I know what I have to go through to be thin. And I know that I'm never going to do that. So I'm always going to be a fat bloke. But as Matron says, there is a balance to strike. And I'm okay with where I am now. Being totally honest with you guys, I'd like to lose a little bit of gut. I could do with, seriously, I'd like to shave about, I'd like to get down to about 14 stone. I'd like to lose 6 to 8 pounds. I'm very, very comfortable there, but I'm not too bad where I am. I genuinely used to be a lot heavier. I genuinely got up to over 19 stone. And then I started working and at that weight, I was uncomfortable. I couldn't run up the stairs. I got out of puff very easily. I looked awful. That was when I was married then. I took the part-time, my wife, my then wife and I, we both piled it on. If you look at pictures of us in Las Vegas, we were a right old pair of porkers. And then we both individually and collectively decided we needed to lose weight. Maggie went on the full Weight Watchers or Slimming World thing and started doing the sins and the calorie counting and all of that. And that worked. She went, when I met Maggie, she was a small size 8, and she went back to being a small size 8. Um, I knew that I needed, because of my body type and my experience, I knew I needed to do something different. That was why I started working at Sainsbury's and in that particular job, because it was physical and I didn't have to change anything else. The weight just dropped off. And then after the divorce, a part time job became a double full time job because I was doing double the normal full time hours. And I was thin. I was really, really thin. At the moment, I'm okay. I'm fit. I can run upstairs. I'm 6'5". I'm large framed, and I don't think, according to the BMI thing, I don't think I even qualify as being overweight. Or if I do, then I'm certainly not obese. But I'd like to have a little bit less of a gut. I loved that feeling when I was working at Sainsbury's of lying down in bed or lying down in the bath, and your stomach was incredibly taut because you were really stretching your skin. Um, and I would like that. Would I like that enough to make the sacrifices that I would need to in order to achieve it? I don't know. In all honesty, I don't know. But I am going to keep up with the weight loss challenge thing. And I am going to try and I can't look again, in all honesty, being open, I can't lose 2 stone. It's I've not got 2 stone to lose, darlings. I'm a 6'5" big bloke and I weigh 14 and a half stone. Um, 12 and a half stone was about my racing weight, and I looked ill. And I was younger then. I don't want to look like that. Absolutely not. But so I will set as my target 14 stone even. If I can lose 6 to 8 pounds, get down to 14 stone, I'll take that. I will take that very happily. Right now. Oh, and you're not fat, you're just squishy in all the right places, says Emma. Boaty, I'm sending you a bike so you can get to work to save money. God. He'd never get there. He'd never get there. All right, darlings, that is it. Thank you for bearing with as we've gone on a little longer than expected, and Emma and I had a chat, which I hope you all found not too disinteresting. Yeah, it's been lovely. There'll be a video out tomorrow. I hope you enjoy the video tomorrow, and I hope you approve of what happened. I can't say anything. Oh, it's the end of the live stream. Due to an unexpected set of circumstances, there's a new addition in the front parlor, darlings. Watch tomorrow's video to find out. I'm very, very happy. Very happy. There you go. Right, I'm off to get some staff curry. But staff curry is okay. You want to lose weight, eat staff curry. Nothing bad in it. No dairy, no sugar, no salt, nothing bad. It's not a Liverpudlian woman, and it's not a wet patch. Right, that's it, darlings. I need to get off. You need to get off. Join me tomorrow, same time, same place, 11:30, Saturday Night Live. Wishing you all a safe and peaceful night. The best day ahead and the best weekend ahead. Take every little bit of joy that you can from it. Take care of yourselves. Take care of those who you love and who love you. And speaking of love, much love from me. see you in the comments on tomorrow's video or tomorrow night for Saturday Night Live, 11:30. But you, and indeed, oh yes, bosh.